Beg your pardon? Meredith, who is this coarse person with the foreign accent?
This is a thing when you do golf construction and shaping, like if you think about the good course, so every par three should be in a different wind direction. They have a saying here that don't put your hands where you would put your cock, so that's a pretty good rule here.
Hey! So you're a hockey player, huh?
Yeah?
You're gonna give that shit up? You're gonna concentrate on golf.
All right, Ernie, welcome. What a life you've lived. So I think it's best if we start with the basics. Where are you from, actually?
Well,
What's the origin story?
well, ordinary, I'm from Helsinki, Finland. Born there, raised there, spent pretty much all my life there. Past 4 years, I moved to Australia, so I've been living here for the past 4 years.
I wanted to ask you, we recently had a fashion episode where we commented that all Nordic people look like they're going sailing. What's that about? Do you have any comments? They're either going sailing or golfing.
Yeah, well, my background is that I'm a Swedish-speaking Finn, so I can say that it maybe has some truth in it too. So yeah, I think we're pretty fashionable people up there. I heard the episode and I can agree with that.
Yeah. I think so too. I think the basic stuff, like Nordic people know how to wear dark blue with a collar, you know? But then if you ask them to try to look edgy and cool like a Londoner, then I think it goes wrong. The basic stuff, Nordic people look real handsome in.
I would say now when I'm here in Australia that Australians kind of very different fashion style, and depending where you live, you build your own character, of course, but then you kind of take small pieces. When I lived in countryside here in Australia and everybody wearing cowboy hats and, jeans on jeans, it catches on. Suddenly you are wearing jeans on jeans and, oh, maybe I need to buy a cowboy hat. So yeah, I reckon it's the trends just catch on you where you live.
Yeah, the double denim.
Yeah. Canadian tuxedo.
Well, talk to me a little bit. The Finnish-speaking minority in Finland is an interesting cultural little niche. I speak fluent Swedish, and I did the Finnish army in Swedish, but I'm not part of that. I'm actually a Finnish Jew. So I was like even weirder. I spoke Swedish with one of my parents at home, but I was from a Jewish family. So I wasn't in the whole, like I knew about, crayfish parties and all those weird fucking songs you sing before you drink vodka or aquavit, schnapps. So what else? What does the world not know about the Swedish-speaking Finnish people?
Well, I reckon the consumption of us is that we all are loaded with money and we just have fun times and partying. But the reality is that many times I think it just, hardworking people, but we are kind of relaxed and we have that privilege because we speak two languages. I think we are born with a certain kind of mindset that, we have more opportunities because of that. The snobs and everything, I've been to crayfish parties. I don't think it's anything wrong with them.
They're good. By the way, I've because of that crayfish and schnapps thing, like I've developed a lifelong. I get these urges like twice a year where I have to go to the supermarket and buy every kind of shellfish there is, and then just gorge on them. Like make a pasta, eat them raw, fry them in garlic, and then 2 days later I don't need it for another 6 months. And I think that comes from you guys.
Us, us guys. We have still, even if I live here, we still have the crayfish here, and it's a fun time back home. I haven't had a crayfish party here. It's a little bit different here. I haven't been too much into the Swedish-speaking culture, even if I used to go school in Klaile. So I met the really privileged people there, and they really like their crayfish parties.
Klaile is an enclave in the like capital city region of Finland, there's a city within a city, almost like the Vatican of Finland, right?
Yes, that's correct. So Rankula is a small state inside of Espoo, and they have different tax rates there and everything. It's a very different culture there. Yeah, people there are just different. They are very privileged, but nice, very nice people. I have many friends still from there, and yeah, they don't stress about life too much, and they have their cultural differences.
Yeah. Do you think now there's gonna be some tension, like the war in Eastern Europe is getting all serious and Russia is getting more and more scary? Do you think those tensions between the Finnish-speaking population and the Swedish-speaking population will get more like serious? You know, do any Finnish people are they suspicious of any Swedish speakers? Like they're not really like us or something like that?
If we look at our country back home in Finland, like our president is a Swedish speaking Finn. So if we can trust our president and the culture he comes from, yeah, what can we
Well,
do?
there are some other presidents around the world that I'm not sure what culture they were raised in, but
Yeah. Finland has had many Swedish speaking Finns in charge of the country, and many people maybe in Finland think that we are a little bit like the Jewish people, and it's not far from it. Like we are very connected, and we make a lot of business with each other.
yeah, that's true. You might know this, but a lot of Finnish Jews speak Swedish as well, usually both, but there's a lot of Swedish speaking. So they're kind of in between, you know, or kind of connected to the same minority. They might go to the same schools, but then, you know, instead of crayfish parties, crayfish aren't kosher, so they might not do so much of those, but they're kind of in the same schools and stuff often. That's a good point. I want to pivot a little bit. We are meant to eventually talk about golf, or golf courses at least.
Yes.
Can I just ask you, did you see those guys on the Champions Tour with the T-shirts about Bernard Langer's putter that he's been cheating this whole time?
Yeah,
Are you aware of this?
I'm aware of Bernard Langer's long putter and Bernard Langer's putting jips through the his whole career. And yeah, mate, it doesn't really matter if you anchor it or do whatever you do to get the ball in the hole from the green. Like, yeah, Bernard Langer, in my books, is a legendary golfer, and his background was like where he came from, and like he used to be like a young club pro and everything. I would let Bernard Langer just be who he is. And mate, those guys are playing
Okay.
Champions Tour. Like they are not playing for the big money anymore. Like let those old fellas do whatever they want to do there. Yeah.
Yeah. So you think I might have overreacted when this is what I wrote to my friend who sent me the guys with the Bernie Langer is cheating t-shirts. I said, I'm with them. Bernie's been cheating for decades. Incredible player, but also a cheater. Probably would be just a Euro Tour hack if it weren't for that atrocious broomstick anchored up his vagina. Do you think that was too much?
Little bit. Yeah. I seen a documentary about Bernard Langer, and I like his because I play myself golf, and I pick up a few of his thoughts how he plays, and yeah, I don't mind the broomstick.
Yeah, a few years ago at the Masters when he was like 67 years old, he was hitting long clubs, woods into every green, and he hit every single one needed to be like a 240-yard fade so that he could hold the green with a hybrid, and he just nailed it every single time. I mean, he's one of the greatest golfers of all time, which,
Yeah.
you know, means maybe he could buy a regular fucking putter as well, eh?
Yeah, but you have to remember he had won the Augusta Masters with a regular blade putter, not with the broomstick. So he has played some good golf with regular putters, but I think if I remember correctly, he lost the Ryder Cup game, and he was the last putter, and it was a short putt, and he missed that. And after that, he had, I think, over a year, a huge putting jips, if I remember correctly. And then he tried all these different things, and the older he get, the more crazier he got with his putting. But Like here, I seen Adam Scott play here, and he plays the broomstick too. Well, you look at the, for example, Bryson DeChambeau's putter. He has pretty much a vertical putter. So they have put now on PGA or Live Tour the rules that you can't have like straight upward 90-degree putter. There has to be some loft that you can't have it like straight down from your eyes. And he pretty much has it. And if you look at his putting style, he lifts his heel up, so he still has it like 90-degree coming straight down from his eyes when he's putting. So yeah, I think everything should be allowed. There've been a lot of discussion though, and I think it's valid that the putter should be the shortest club in your bag. I'm not against it. I kind of like to see that you kind of bring your own identity and your own style with all the clubs you have in your bag. So is it the mallet putter, blade putter, broomstick? Yeah, it tells a small story about yourself.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I think I might be overreacting. I don't know. It just looks ugly. I feel like if you want to be a sport and you want the world to treat you as an athlete and you want the world to pay you as an athlete, then a normal putter is an athletic movement that's done with your muscles. And when you get nervous and tired, your muscles struggle to do it as well. That's a sport. When you're doing it with a fucking flagpole or like Bryson with some kind of mathematical equation from above, then I don't know, that goes against it being a sport. It becomes like snooker or something that's like in between a sport and a bar game, you know?
Yeah, 100%. But then again, there's so many elements like, well, we're gonna probably come to it, but I've been working on golf courses since I was 14 years old back home and now here. So the elements that those guys need to calculate and all the kind of small booby traps and everything we build in, all from greenkeeping, construction to shaping. So, and then you have to take all the nature elements with it, and those guys put the ball in with so much talent and skill. Like, is it the sport? That's always have been a big discussion, but it's great entertainment.
Man, 100% it's a sport. Anyone who tells me that it's not, there's two things. First of all, out here where I live, it's pretty hilly. So the golf courses, come walk 18 holes with me and tell me how tired you feel after. It's a proper hike while you have to focus on a little ball that just won't go where you want it to go. So it's definitely a sport. And the other thing is, these professionals, you take the driver, they can launch a projectile to 330 yards more accurately than the average person could with an assault rifle. So it's definitely a sport, you know? I don't think that's a
Yeah.
debate anymore.
No, those guys, yeah, those guys really start to take care of their everything, food, sleep. Like when you watch the Ryder Cup and hear what they talk about, all the preparation when the European guys went to New York to play, like they had light dimmers, they had dark, and they have certain temperature, the room, VR glasses, practicing with crowd screaming at them before the tournament, like all the preparation physically, mentally, food wise. They have many trainers. I have worked here with Cameron Smith's old physical trainer. He tells like, yeah, those guys work hard on the gym, even if some of the guys doesn't even look like. You look at Cameron Smith.
Yeah, they do a lot of that, like those rubber bands, like on quick muscle movement, whatever. And I mean, whatever, like golfers are such a weird niche thing that from the outside people laugh at it. And then, I mean, I laugh at it from the inside too. But I think the very professionals are probably pretty amazing athletes. But I do have to say that now there's so much money in golf that there is that middle tier. Like not your Cam Smith or Bryson DeChambeau. But nowadays there are like millionaire golfers who you've never heard of, who never even won a tournament. Those guys, I don't know. Am I meant to be that impressed, you know?
Well, I've played with a couple of professionals here that are kind of the mid tier professionals, and yeah, I'm still impressed how they play. Like I understand that it's on the top is the top, but you go out with the professional, you think that even if you are single handicap, oh, I can play like pretty close to par. I'm decent. Reality hits when you really go out to play with even these lower division professionals. Like they play pretty good solid golf, and then you think about, oh, there is really steps on this. So here is like the small tour professional, then there is like European tour, DP tours, and then we start to go to PGA. And like think about some guy who is like the 100th on the PGA tour. Like we don't really think about, like we have the Finnish player Sami Välimäki. The Finns think like, oh yeah, Sami is a really good player, but reality is that he's a damn good player. But the world is tough. Like these guys are talented and so good that it's hard to break into that top niche group.
Yeah, and within the game, someone like him is called a bruiser. Like everyone says, the only skill we got there is distance, and in another era in golf, he wouldn't be on top. But if you actually zoom in, I'm pretty sure his short game is better than anyone I've ever met anywhere, you know? So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's good at everything.
Oh, have to be. But of course, I think the interesting about that is that we all are different sizes, different skill sets. So they have those niche guys. Like you look, Bryson uses his distance at an advantage. Rory has his distance. Then we have these old fellows like Lee Trevino or Gary Player who used to play and were like super good at their short game. Trevor Immelman, like these guys, everybody has kind of the different skill sets how to play. We go to Patrick Reed, he plays the ball right to left. Everybody plays that game so differently. So I think it's an incredible sport, and I wouldn't work in the industry if I wouldn't love love the game and be so interested in it.
Yeah, Patrick Reed's Masters, another amazing memory. I had just learned myself to kind of shape the ball both ways. Kind of, I used to be good, now I'm not very good anymore. But so I thought it was amazing that this guy who was a draw player, then he had to force himself to hit fades with the driver, and he did that helicopter swing.
Yeah.
Whatever, otherwise as a person, I don't really care, but that performance of going 4 days and doing that helicopter swing that everyone was laughing at, but it was so effective. He just forced his body to do what wasn't natural for him.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw this, but it was interesting. I don't remember. They have the Spanish championship, and John Rahm played extra holes. I don't remember what this other guy's name, the other Spanish guy, but the Spanish player, he had like a Scottish Scheffler kind of thing, but even worse, like helicopter. He was like pretty much spinning up a 360 when he hitting the driver, and yeah. I remember when I played as a junior, it was always like, yeah, shuffling, like don't shuffle and don't do this and don't do that. And nowadays it's more like, yeah, as long as you get the correct positions and can strike the ball, it doesn't matter how you strike it.
Yep. Well, we can talk about equipment a little bit, but I don't want to procrastinate too much because I want to get into some grass talk. You know a lot about grass and golf courses. How the hell did you end up in that? You said you started at 14, just because you liked hanging out at the golf course, or what?
Yeah, so my father used to be a golf teacher back in Finland, professional PGA teacher at the golf club. And he always took me as a junior to the golf club. And he wanted me to kind of be around the clubhouse and, you know, get me into work. He was a little bit older, so I think he had a little different mindset than nowadays. So old school, that you have to start working as a teenager. And when school ended, he always took me to the golf course, and I was cleaning the golf carts and I was emptying the bins and everything. But then I always kind of said to him that I want to work on the course because I saw all the other guys a little bit older than me working there, you know, edging bunkers, cutting grass. And I was like, oh, I want on the course. And he kind of tried to hold me back that I wouldn't go to the course. And I always insisted that I want to go and have a try on all the machines and be with the boys on the course and take care of the course. And then, yeah, next summer I gradually started to be more on the course, and what they put on the teenager to do is raking bunkers, whippersnip, small maintenance stuff. Like you don't get too much responsibility at that age. Just learn how the ropes go and kind of get used to all those mornings and learn about the grass types. And
Yeah, I was just listening to an interview with a executioner and prison warden in Alabama. So that made me think, what do you think is a fair punishment for people who don't repair their pitch marks or divots on a golf course? Like death penalty or well, what's the...
well, if I would be in charge of the golf club, maybe a warning. A divot on a fairway, yeah, sometimes I can understand, like, even if you are new or been playing golf for a while, you hit a beautiful shot. We say you hit from 160, you get it pretty much 1 meter to the pin. You're pretty excited. Sometimes you forget small things like repair your divot, even if I like to think that old school style that it's a gentleman's sport, so you take care of the course too. But if I see like you do it consistently without thinking, or you do it on purpose, like you don't care, then I would say that you get a ban from that golf club at least, or get some kind of punishment that, oh, you are on the blacklist, that you can play for a while. There could be a blacklist on golf courses. Like I think they have some kind of system. If you, there were some years ago, like one guy hit a head of a Canada goose on a golf course, and I think he got like 1 year ban from all the courses in the country.
Cool. So not death penalty, but something serious, you know.
Something serious that.
Some people would say a 1 year ban from golf is worse than death.
But then, you know, people are pretty sneaky, so they could always come with different names or different. So, but should they have like a big board of everybody's faces on the clubhouse that these guys are banned here, or?
Yeah. Tell me, what's the best, like, working on a golf course, what's the magic tool, like everyone's favorite, like the Excalibur of a greenskeeper? What are we talking? What's the most important thing?
Well, from a greenkeeping side, well, of course, the greens mower is the one from the greenkeeper's side. You need always have a pocket knife too. You don't know how you need so many times knife, but I've been working 2 years in the construction, and I've been specialized to do greens on the golf courses, and the bunker bike is the most important tool that I have 100%. Like there is nothing to compare to a John Deere old school bunker bike that does the job
Right.
so nicely.
It's maybe funny to some people that you said that maybe Swedish speaking Finns are a little bit more posh, a little bit more upper middle class, yet you're real excited about lawnmowers and bunker bikes. That's fun, you know, breaking stereotypes.
Yeah.
Do you give them names? And if so, are they female names?
Oh, the machinery. Here's just the bunker bike, you know. It's not a boat, you
So
know.
not Matilda or something.
No, it's not a sailing boat. But of course, if you use that machine pretty much every day, you take really good care. Wash it, polish it, take care that all the liquids are in condition. Like, yeah, if you get the privilege to have like one machine, you take really good care of it. I'm not waxing my machines there, but if I would be in charge, there could be a possibility.
Obsessing over machinery and cleaning it, that's something. But what else do greenskeepers and golf course staff do that the golfers have no idea about? Any secret little things?
Oh, like all the small details that goes into it. Secrets. Well, if we think about all the fertilizer and everything, like greenkeeping is a crazy thing. Like people don't understand how much effort it is to maintain a golf course. Like people play many different golf courses, but all the small things go through. If you go to a really high-end courses, like there is drainages underneath courses like Augusta, they have sub-air systems. They can control the wetness of the greens, put air in the greens, drag moisture from them. They can so specific control all the surfaces on the golf course. But the niche things I think are that depending on the superintendent, he can choose how he present the golf course. If he wants more like a dry, hard course, you can do it. Like you can manipulate nature, and that's the beauty of it, to make it hard or easier for the player.
So would you say if you put in a feature in a hole, are you putting it there to fuck with the golfer, that you want the ball to land in there, or are you putting it there just because it fits the nature right there? What's more important?
So it depends on the land so much, but you want always the course to pop up nicely with the nature. So I'm a old school mindset in this, so I kind of like it, the course be one with the nature. But then again, I have worked for different architects, and yeah, for example, I worked on a Greg Norman course, and I think sometimes this man, like, he wants to punish people on the course, like he doesn't want to be very nice to the players. 100% there is that element, like, oh, let's put this 230-meter par 3 here with water on front, right, and left. So yeah, it depends. Many architects do it differently. Gil Hansen do it differently. Greg Norman do it differently. I've been working for OCM now, so that's Ogilvy and Meady and Cocky, so they do it differently. Everybody wants to have their own style, but I think now the couple of years I've been working more in the shaping and construction, like, guys are getting more bold with their showing, like, boldness in their designs. You're gonna see in the future more boldness, like how the greens are more like big bumps, big swells, valleys, back ridge. Like, it's getting crazier and crazier. The golf courses in the future.
Yeah. You mentioned Greg Norman. Is he still a hero in Australia, or has it become all weird with his friendship with Trump and dictators around the world, and the Live Golf League, the Saudi League, or do people still like him?
He has controversial opinions, of course, here too, but he's the shark. He's their hero. Like, Greg Norman is the GOAT, 100%. And when you get power, money, and where he came from, yeah, all the respect for him. I work for him and still have some projects, so I don't want to maybe comment too much. But yeah, he's the GOAT here, and yeah, we all have our personal opinions and our good sides and bad sides. But yeah, he's the hero here. And funny story is, I read his book when I was working with Greg on the course, and his mother is Finnish born.
Yes. Yeah.
We could say that he's half Finnish too.
Yeah. I think the Finnish sports media has been less inclined to claim him recently with all the controversy, but
Yeah.
Tell me, what's one feature or one thing that you always think golf courses should have, but players don't appreciate it? Or the other way around, what's something that's really fashionable and people want, like lots of bunkers, but actually they shouldn't have it?
Well, I'm a big fan of bunkers, so I think bunkers bring more depth to the course. I think golf courses should have always greens that you kind of see the flag. Like, hidden pins is not my favorite thing on golf courses. Well, one thing that people don't, this is a thing when you do golf construction and shaping, like, if you think about a good course and you think how many par threes there can be on a course, we say 4. So every par 3 should be in a different wind direction. These are small things that people don't think about when they play. So what would be south, north to south, south to north, east to west? That same wind during the day would catch your ball differently on every par 3. So these are small things that good designers do that maybe common people don't see, that they put all different directions the holes without people understand why are we playing this part three sideways, or why is the flow of the course this way.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. I never thought of that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And small features, the ball always rolls towards water. So if you have water on the course, like lakes and ponds and ocean, usually the ball wants to always roll a little bit faster towards the water. You bring kind of the elements in Australia right now. The big boom here is that they used to bring plantation from other countries to the courses, but nowadays they try to get rid of all the other countries' plantation, and they plant all their native plants in there and try to bring their nature, insects, birds, what are here to bring a good health on the golf courses. I know that golf courses have not always had a very good reputation with all the water usages and the chemicals that goes into it, but more and more we're building stuff, we always take the nature first. Like, how could we build a course that uses less water? How could we build a course that have water areas where we can have animals live, where birds live? How can we make the nature fertilize in its own way and grow its own life?
Yep. When people talk to me about the environmental impact of golf, which is a really interesting topic, I've always said to them, I agree with you completely when it comes to a lush green golf course in the desert, because that doesn't make sense. That doesn't belong there. You're wasting water. It's artificial. Like, why is there a green golf course in Arizona? It should be brown. That way, I agree with it. But then I look around me here in the UK. Golf is very affordable, and most courses fit the nature. As in the winter, they're a different color than they are in the summer. You need to learn how to hit different shots. Like, they don't artificially maintain most courses. They don't try to keep them like this green color for television. Golf can be very sustainable and a lovely walk in nature, but then it can also be a horrific idea, like an artificial resort that's wasting water and ruining nature.
100%. Well, you think about these courses like in the desert, Arabic countries, yeah, like Saudi Arabia, it's waste of nature resources. Like here, we dig a big hole, build a dam, and then it rains here, and we pump the water from the dam that we build there. So we are kind of building a new resource for water to get the water into the golf course. So it's not like we are pumping it from the water systems here in Brisbane. Like, we are building a dam and pump system next to the golf course so they can pump their own water and have always measurements and look, oh, okay, we have used this much water from the dam now. We need to wait a little bit. We need to hold on to it. Of course, this is a country too, Australia. Like, you go south, it's a very different climate and different grass types, everything. I'm now more up to north, Brisbane, so it's more tropical. It's been over 30 degrees plus all week, no rain, and today it's just smashing rain. And it can be big drought seasons here.
That's interesting. So Australia is so big that there are like different climates within it, and golf courses look very different in different parts, right?
Yes. So, well, if we go like these past 2 years when I've been like specifically on this construction and building, so I've been living in Sydney, and Sydney has a very different climate to, we would say, up north or south. So I've been living in Victoria, New South Wales, Queensland. So all these different states are different located in the country. So in Victoria, it's much colder. During winter time, it's -degrees there. You can go snowboarding in the small mountains there. Like, mornings I went to work there to build the golf course, it could be -5 degrees. Then same time you go up north and it's +30 degrees. So yeah, people maybe don't understand that Australia is so big that you have to kind of talk about the certain areas here to understand the concept of the golf courses. So the golf courses look very different in different states here. We have the sandbelt courses, we have the park courses, we have the tropical courses, and those courses have their unique own elements because of the location where they are and how the nature builds around the course and all the different grass types and trees and animals too.
Yeah. I want to get to animals in a moment, but I have to ask you, have you ever seen a player talk shit about a hole that you've built and calling it crap and throwing their clubs in the lake?
Now, yeah, like I was building the greens at the Royal Sydney Golf Course, and yeah, Gil Hansen was the main architect there, and he was there on the site, and he built this huge bunker on the 13th on the right side, and yeah, we were I went there back to do some calculation and check the irrigation systems, and then the course was already playable, and people were shitting themselves when they hit into that 13th bunker and just calling why in the fuck there is these huge bunkers, and the and the age of the players in Royal Sydney, the guys who play there, they are 60 and above, and just looking at them to get into those bunkers, yeah, they look struggling. Like, yeah, some of the bunkers they probably were too happy about.
I'm sure all architects and golf course builders want that perfect balance of, oh, we want it to be really playable for members, but we also want the pros to come here twice a year and play a big tournament. So, so that's tough, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think what they did there was they build tee spots to make like closer to the members. They don't call it anymore ladies tee. It's like members tee, and then there is the championship tees that are like back, and the course looks very different when you play it from the back than when you play it from the members tee. So then again, like, yeah, of course those courses, especially all the private courses, these courses want big championships there. They want to have the Australian PGA. They want to have big competition.
President's Cup, maybe.
President's Cup could be. Yeah, that's why they get these big architects like Gil Hansen from America, who is well known and probably the top guy right now with big bucks to architect and come and build the course and build a crew around him and have it done. But then again, golf here in Australia can be a little bit different. So we have these really fancy private clubs, and then we have the public courses. So these private clubs, they are exclusive. Like, you need to have go to get into them, and connections. Like, you don't just walk into the club and say, "Oh, I have money. Can I become a member?" You need to play yourself in. You need to know people.
Yeah. What you said about it looks very different from the championship tee. I always play if I pay a big green fee for something fancier. I always play from a tee that's much shorter, because then I feel like if it's a course that's been on TV, for example, going to the back tees and thinking you're going to have the experience of the pros, you're out of your mind. You can't hit it like they do. So what I do is I usually, if I'm only going to play that course once, I play it from a forward tee, and then my second shots are the same as the ones on TV. You see what I mean? Like, I put it in the fairway where they would be, and then I get at least half of the hole is the same hole as on TV.
Oh, that's exactly how you should play. That's how the course is designed. And those guys on those tours, they just play a different level. The different tees are built there for a reason, and golf should be enjoyable. And many countries in the juniors, I think Victor Hovland talked about this, that in Norway they have a system that the kids are not allowed to go to the back tees before they play from the front tees to a single digit handicap. You kind of need to play yourself up those tees.
Yeah, that's true. But the distance thing, we're not going to solve anything today, but we mentioned a little bit about golf course design and sustainability. The other reason why it's becoming unsustainable is that all these legacy clubs are starting to buy land off of the farmer on the other side of the road because the pros are hitting it so far that they're pulling the tees back into a property that didn't even exist there when the golf course was designed. Obviously, none of us will grow any more land on this planet. Therefore, the obvious solution is to put some discipline on the equipment and roll back the ball or the driver or both. Like the courses that you're building now, will they even be relevant in 10 years if people keep hitting it to 400 yards?
I think this is a big discussion right now and an issue in golf. And yeah, I think if the equipment, like technology, is evolving all the time, even with us like less ball speed, club head speed, the clubs are helping us to hit further and further, and the balls what we play. So I reckon they are relevant if we little bit start to cut on the equipment, go to smaller drivers, maybe change little bit how the ball reacts. On the DP Tour, they had that world's smallest driver that they hit. And I don't say that it had a purpose that we would go back in time and make all the drivers really small, but Rory and all those guys had a hit on that, and they hit like 100 meters or 100 yards less than with their big drivers. So I think we shouldn't change too much the courses, maybe change the equipment. It's a hard discussion, and I'm more of a guy who would say that we could also cut on the clubs. Right now, golf is played with 14 clubs, and I reckon if we cut that in half, golf would be much more interesting.
Hey, excellent. I'm with you 100%. I play most of my rounds with a Sunday bag, 6 clubs. If I walk, and I always walk, and golf should be walked. But I'm getting older and fatter, so I don't want to walk with that heavy fucking thing on my back. So I walk with like 6 clubs and a few balls.
Yeah. I used to do that. If I'm honest, I'm becoming a little bit lazy here in Australia because here people, I went to a country course in Narrabri and I was the only person walking. And the guys came at the clubhouse. I played there and one guy came to me and asked me, like, what you doing out there? And then I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you're walking? I'm like, yeah, shouldn't you do that on a golf course? Then he was like, nah, mate, not here. Like, everybody just have their own buggies and drive around and drink some beers. Like, he was like, mate, you are in Australia. Nobody walks here. So I'm getting a little bit too comfortable and used to driving the buggy here. Yeah, 100%. Like, think about cutting the clubs. Like, we say we have 8 clubs. Then you have to start to hit those different clubs in a different ways. Like, you have suddenly 150 meters and you are thinking, oh, what club do I have to choose? Like, is it the 7-iron or the wind is coming? Or maybe next club you have only a 5-iron, the wind is against you. So are you going to hit the cut 5-iron fade? Like, you have to really think what kind of shot shape and everything that you get that correct distance. Now it feels like these guys are just like machines. Like, oh, I have this club, I hit exactly this meter. And yeah, just like it's a computer calculating and they just hit the club and that's it.
Yeah. And especially for beginners as well, a lot of beginners I've seen in my life who go to a driving range a few times and maybe play 1 round, 9 holes, and they're like, I kind of like this. It's a cool game. Well, the next thing is someone buys them as a Christmas present 14 clubs in a big clunky bag. They don't know where to put it in their house. Then they have to carry it themselves. And as beginners, especially for older people and women and children, golf equipment is big and clunky and heavy. All they need is a driver, an iron, and a wedge and a putter. It doesn't really matter. You're either going to hit the ball well or not so well. And it goes roughly the same distance no matter what club you have in the beginning. So all this like equipment shit, I know the equipment manufacturers are not going to sponsor my podcast now because I'm trying to get them to sell less shit. But yeah, stop expanding golf. Stop making the courses bigger. Bring in more people. The barrier for entry, make it low. Very little equipment. Get rid of the fucking dress codes within reason. right? But get rid of anything silly and make it easy and fun.
And I love here in Australia. I work on really fancy courses, but I always have my membership at some. I wouldn't say crappy, but like a small course. Just the atmosphere there is so much better. Like people are just so nice. The course is not always like in best shape, but we are just there having fun, play around, and 100% like you think about the beginner too. They have to have a little bit extra balls and everything. Like yeah, the equipment is heavy for them, and I really like that a sport like golf should be for everybody enjoying the nature.
Yeah. I have one more serious question before a fun little rapid fire round. The grass thing. So you probably know a little bit more about grass than our average listener. So what's your favorite? Obviously, it depends on the where you're building a golf course. But if you got to choose, what's the best grass and why? Like, what are all these names, Kokuya and whatever they are?
Yeah, I'm born and raised in Finland and playing courses around the world. Bent grass, 100%. I love bent grass. It's so fine leaf grass. And of course, there are different types of bent grass, but yeah, it's just beautiful. The ball rolls so beautiful when you putt on a really nice, well maintained bent greens. 100% bent grass.
Okay.
I don't mind here Brisbane the Cooch Bermuda greens, but it's very different because you have to putt the grains. Like it's very different. Like the grass grows sideways, bent grass grows upwards. So when you putt on a Bermuda green, the ball can roll to the left even if the hill looks like it's going to the right because the grass is growing sideways towards a different way. But yeah, bent grass for sure.
Excellent. And they have specialist golfers who like you can look at some golfer statistics. They do better on certain types of grass because they know how to putt on it from childhood or whatever.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. All right. Some rapid fire questions. These are fun. First of all, one hole, best hole in the world. And did you build it?
Best hole in the world. Is this what I've been playing myself or
Yeah. Go with best favorite hole you've ever played.
I played a hole at New South Wales Golf Club. They have changed a little bit their hole directions, what it is, but you walk on a bridge to an island and hit from the island back to the mainland. Like you are on an island, middle of the ocean, pretty much, and you hit back to the mainland. I don't remember which hole is it right now, but that hole, it's so beautiful.
Oh, that sounds incredible. Do you need to be a good player? How good are you to build a good golf course?
I reckon you have to love the game. You have to love landscaping if you build golf courses. You have to love the game. Do you have to be a good golfer? I reckon not. We all can have a different view of the game. Like, no, the straight answer, you don't have to be good golfer, but it helps. I think certain guys get certain jobs if they are better golfers, but you don't have to be a great golfer. If we compare to other sports, does a good football player become a good football coach? No, it's not always related.
Yeah. Especially, I feel like bad players should build courses for other bad players.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I think a lot of things goes in it building a golf course, but maybe if I have in the future a chance to build my own course, I can have you to have our opinion on one hole, and we can have a discussion. What would you do on it? Because I can really sense that you love golf and you have a sweet spot for it.
Yeah, I was playing with a mini tour player in Scotland, and we were playing this. You know how all the dumb tourists pay like hundreds of pounds for green fees, and right next door there's a public golf course designed by the same guy that costs like £40. And I was on one of those courses, and I played with a mini tour player who was there on holiday as well. And we started talking about all the holes, and I started pointing at things that I like. And he was like, "You have a great eye for this. Are you like a golf course designer or something?" And then he saw me hit a ball, and maybe not.
Yeah, well, I don't think the how you play matter too much with the golf course design. You just need to have an eye for it, and it's a beneficial if you have seen a lot
How
of
good are you?
the world and seen a lot of different courses. I played pretty solid. I played in a single-digit handicap.
Yeah, so pretty good.
Yeah.
Best hole you built, the favorite, the one you're proudest of. Where can we find it?
Where the best hole that I kind of have shaped, of course, we have certain criteria with the architects and everything, but where I kind of had put my own hands into is in Victoria, the Greg Norman new par 3 course. It's not finished, it's on a little bit on hold. And there is the sixth hole on that par 3 course. I can say that's going to be an amazing hole, that sixth hole on that 9-hole course. The one that I have built for other people and other architects, well, my specialties are building greens. So my favorite green that I build, I would say on Royal Sydney Golf Course, the first green, it's a punch in your gut. Like the green has a huge bump and ridge in the middle of it, and yeah, it's a tough green. If somebody goes and plays that, they understand.
Oh, any hole in ones?
I made one. I made in Thailand on Lok Palm golf course on the 16th hole, 138 meters, 8 iron, small draw, hit the back ridge, took a small backspin straight into the hole. I was kind of confused on that moment, but we had the Thai caddy there, and she was screaming to me that hole in one, hole in one, hole in one, and she was jumping up and down, and I was like, what's going on here? But yeah, it went in. So I made one on a really nice course in Thailand, Phuket. You
Nice.
have any hole in ones?
Yeah, I'll tell you about mine. Does she get an extra large tip for that? The caddy.
Yeah, she got the extra tip for the because I made the hole in one.
I have two. I have one going in from the front and another one going in from the back. And obviously Michael Scott would say that's what she said, but I'm talking about golf balls. I have one that spun in from the back and kind of from the side, actually. It was a draw. One of them was a cool, like, maybe there was a side hill or the ball was drawing, but it landed on the right side behind the hole and then kind of spun left and back. And then another one just went in from the front, one bounce and rolled in.
Beautiful. No luck or just skill?
Both. One of the shots for my first hole in one was an amazing shot. The shot was perfect. It deserved to go in. The second one was a slightly thin contact where actually when it was in the air, I thought I had bladed it over the green by 10 meters. And soft green, it landed, behind and spun back in. But it could have been a horrible shot. So the second one was luck. So, final question here. But not final, because actually we need a golf correspondent and we don't have one yet, and you're very knowledgeable and you love the game, which is the number one thing. But before that, final question for today is animals. You're in Australia where every body of water has some kind of fucking dinosaur in it. I know there's a golf course where there's a shark in a water hazard. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen that shark in the water, hasn't. But I have a pretty interesting story about this week and insects and animals. So I went to work this week and suddenly I got a huge reaction. Like I walked through like a kind of forest area where we're building the golf course, and suddenly I got a huge reaction. allergic reaction or something. So something sting me here, and my eye just swallowed up. I got huge rashes on my arms, and I got sent to the hospital this week. So yeah, and we don't even know. I'm still alive and everything is fine. It went down and everything is good, but yeah, we don't know what stung me in the forest. And the doctors, they were like, well, you look after 2-3 hours. I started to look better, so they were like, oh, you are good to go back home.
Oh,
So you have to be a little bit aware here. They have a saying here that don't put your hands where you wouldn't put your cock. So that's a pretty good rule here.
that's a great saying. When you build these dams and stuff and you have to dig up a bunch of earth, I mean, I'm sure there's awful snakes and spiders every time you start working on a golf course.
Yeah, yeah. So depends on the area, but we have on this here in Brisbane, we have the account about how many snakes. So 10 snakes we have seen, all like cobras and brown snakes and everything like. And the scary part of it, sometimes like you see them, they go up in the tree and then you see them up in the tree. And yeah, so you have to be aware here when, depending on where you play, that if you hit your ball in the bushes, think twice before you grab it, put your hand in there. Because I had that incident when I played in Narrabri. My ball went to the rough, and it's kind of a long grass area. And I just, I've been here for 6 months and I didn't really think about. People always talk about like, oh yeah, there's snakes and scorpions and spiders. So I just went there and looked and tried to with my hands, and suddenly a big brown snake is there. And yeah, I played with few local guys and I was like, holy shit. And they just run and started to try to hit it and smash it, because yeah, if you get bitten by a brown snake, you need to go to a hospital and quick.
Yeah. Oh, terrifying. Terrifying, man. I can tell you about a animal encounter as well. I was really dehydrated, so I had to rush to a round of golf. It's here in England. And just some context, there are no wolves in England, right? But I had to rush to a tea time and I hadn't had lunch or any water. And I think towards the end of the round, I'm like on the 14th hole or 13th hole, and I'm really dehydrated. And out in the distance, I can see a wolf. It's 100% a wolf, and this is a twilight round. So the sun's going down, and there's nobody there but me and this animal. Okay, first of all, I'm in an urban environment in England, so unless there's a zoo nearby, that's not a wolf. But my brain was so like foggy and dehydrated that in an instant I convinced myself that, okay, there are 100% wolves here, and that one's starting to walk at me and it's coming for me. And this wolf starts walking like it's maybe one fairway away from me, and its big shadow is just walking at me, and it starts running. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? There are definitely wolves now, and this one's gonna kill me. And again, there are no wolves. So this is, and I'm just having this moment where my brain is all foggy and like this wolf is coming at me. And at the final moment, the animal it's getting pretty like twilighty and dark-ish. And at maybe 60 meters away, I realize that, yeah, it's a German Shepherd that's just off the lead, and its owner was just so far away, because then I could see the shadow of a human like 400 meters away. That was my scariest animal encounter on a golf course, because my brain convinced me in my dehydration and tiredness that there is a wolf coming to kill me right now. You know? It was a friendly dog.
The mind plays tricks on you.
Yeah. I had a nice cuddle with the German Shepherd, you
know. My scariest encounter on the golf course is here. I played on the country course, and I played with a few guys from work, and we went to the course and we played a few holes, and we thought, oh, this is a nice spot to have a relaxing time. And we had the buggies and everything, and we looked like there's a guy after us playing alone. And we're just sitting underneath the tree in the buggies, and we're like, yeah, just come. And he plays, and he comes and says hello and everything, and he's a little bit like awkward and everything. And then he's like, and he continues, and we're like, yeah, okay, for sure, go. Well, we played around all the way to the end, and we come to the clubhouse, and this girl in this small town asked, "Oh, have we seen this young fellow?" And we're like, "We saw him on the course. Yeah, he passed us by." And the girl is like, yeah, he escaped like a mental institution or something like the day before, and he had tried to stab somebody the day before in the town. So we were like, oh well, he wasn't too happy because we were kind of holding him when we were just having a small break underneath the tree. And yeah, she was like shocked that we need to find this guy. And I was like, oh, welcome to Australia.
That's crazy. So the two thoughts. Number one, yes, maybe the scariest predator on a golf course is still the golfer himself.
Yeah.
The other thought is that guy still, even though he escaped from a mental institution, even crazy motherfuckers know how to behave on a golf course and wear a collar and say thank you and please.
100%, and he has permission to get past us, and we were like, yeah, just go, we are having a break. And he was like, oh, thanks, and he continued his game. Like, yeah, we didn't think anything about that moment, but afterwards, like, yeah, they were really shocked at the clubhouse that this guy shouldn't even be here. Like, yeah, I don't know why didn't they call the police, but it's a small town, so I think the town is kind of their own police in a way. So everybody knows each other, so they take care of their own.
Hey, Ernie, awesome. Thank you for this. Such a fascinating world, golf course construction and all that. And your passion for it is really refreshing. We'll have to finish with a nice public service announcement for you. Any message for the golfers of the world?
Message for the golfers to the world. Oh, this is a good one. We've been talking about the walking, so there's a saying, the man who loves walking will go further than the man who loves the destination.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Love it. We'll end on that. Thanks so much for your time, and we'll talk to you soon again.
Thank you. I think we just scraped the surface, but it was really nice, and thank you. I think you're a good character, and I think we're going to have good conversations in the future too.
Golf seems like a good life, sir. I think I'll buy my own golf ball and join the tour.